Greetings, car fanatics. So today I'm going to be doing a driving review of my Cayenne. Finally get a chance to take it on the twisties, so we'll talk about how the vehicle handles, the power, driving dynamics, and we'll talk about also what I like and don't like about the way the Cayenne drives. Let's go and take it out for a spin. Got it now in sport mode, but I'm going to set the dampers actually to normal because this road is fairly bumpy. I have the car also on the low ride setting. Alright, sport mode, ready? Full throttle. Wow, listen to that engine. Woo! Now, this is definitely not the 911. Let's get on the brakes. Oh, got the 6-piston calipers working to slow down this big car. Alright, it's doing it. It's hanging in there on the twisties. Only at about 35 miles an hour, and I'm getting a little bit nervous. This is quite a big vehicle. Alright. And taking this turn at 37. Ooh. Compared to the 911, this is pretty uncomfortable because you sit so much higher. So when the car is pitching over in these turns, you definitely feel it. It also doesn't help that the seats, the standard seats at least, aren't very supportive. There just isn't a lot of lateral bolstering, so that means in the corners, despite the vehicle being pretty planted, you're not. So I really wish I had the sport seats, which would keep me more planted in these corners and give me a little bit more driving confidence. Alright, passing this nice C3 over here. Okay, this one's a 25. Let's slow down to about 35 miles an hour. Ooh. Okay, so for those who try to tell you driving the Cayenne is like driving a bigger 911, I mean, you really can't compare the two cars. The Cayenne is not a 911 SUV. It's still very much a 5,200 pound SUV. You can't toss it into the corners too hard, or this thing would probably lose some grip. But I gotta say, for an SUV, taking on these canyon roads and being able to, kind of do some carving is pretty good. Not terrible. It's just not my 911. Alright. Let's try putting the dampers in sport mode and see if that helps the handling a bit. So this road is a little bit bumpy, and with sport mode, you definitely feel that. Getting some traffic over here, so we'll slow it down and give the cars a chance to put some distance between us. Alright, we're back up and going. So I'm not touching the Tiptronic at all. I prefer to just let the computer do the shifting for me. So it's one of those things to consider when picking whether you want to get a manual transmission car or a dual clutch. Now, if you do have a dual clutch, a lot of you might think, oh, it's almost the same. You can shift the gears yourself. But I can tell you, with the computer doing a lot of the work and probably doing that work better, it's going to be really hard to convince yourself of manually rowing through the PDK gears when the computer can do a better job. Which is, if you really want the driving dynamics, you gotta have that stick shift because you're forced to row your own gears, and that really makes the driving experience that much more involving. So the front end of the Cayenne through these corners, it's definitely harder to predict where you're placing the front end. It's not telepathic like the 911. It's a bit vague, but it's an SUV with all-wheel drive. So far, I'm having fun on these canyon roads. Let's go ahead, wide open throttle. Oh my God! Listen to that engine scream. It sounds like a F1. Not F1. I'm sorry. It sounds like a NASCAR. Now we've definitely burned through some gas. When I got on this road, I was at a full tank, and I already see the gas indicator dropping about by a 1/16 of a full tank. So definitely burning some good gas. Going wide open throttle. Let's go ahead and find a turnaround point, and we'll go ahead and take the Cayenne on the way back. This looks like a fairly decent turnaround point. Alright, back at it again. Taking this corner. Time to get on the brakes. It's working. Got some nosedive a little bit. And it's definitely decent in the corners, not confidence inspiring. Wide open throttle. Woo! That is a rush. Golly. And we're at 100. Slowing down on the brakes.
Well, car fanatics, there you have it. My overall thoughts on the Porsche Cayenne Turbo Well, car fanatics, there you have it. Overall, I think the Porsche Cayenne Turbo is a fantastic SUV that's a real blast to drive. Now, in terms of its handling and performance, I don't think you can really compare it to a 911. I'd liken it more to an American muscle car. The straight line acceleration is just amazing. I love all of that low-end torque, and it pulls really strongly. Now, for the braking and the handling, it's definitely great for an SUV, but you still really can't compare it to that of a sports car or even a sports sedan. But overall, I do think the Porsche Cayenne Turbo is a great all-around SUV. Definitely recommend it if you're looking for a car that can do it all. Thanks for watching, Car Fanatics. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Leave any questions or comments below.